Good day. He was just a boy the first time he heard a whisper in the dark. It wasn't from his parents. No, they were fast asleep. This whisper came from someplace else. And while most children would have cried out or pulled the covers over their heads, this child, he listened. That whisper wasn't the last. As the years went on, so did the whispers. Unexplained knocks, strange shadows, cold spots in summer, and an imagination that couldn't sit still even if it wanted to. But to him, these weren't nightmares. They were invitations. In a small home nestled in the Pacific Northwest, he grew up surrounded by trees, fog, and the kinds of stories that don't get told in the daylight. Stories that grandparents tell in hushed voices when the power goes out. He soaked them in. While other kids were reading comic books, he was reading about Bigfoot, UFOs, ghost ships. He wasn't looking for thrills. He was looking for the truth. But life, as it often does, tried to nudge him off course. He became a musician, a good one, playing shows, writing songs, building a world in melody, a path that made sense, even if it wasn't the one calling to him in the deepest parts of the night. For a while, music kept the whispers away, the notes drowned them out, until one day someone asked him a question. Have you ever seen something you can't explain? He laughed. He had dozens. He just hadn't talked about them. Not out loud, not yet. But maybe it was time. He bought a microphone. Not an expensive one, just something decent. He hooked it up, clicked record, and began speaking into the dark. The same dark he'd known since childhood. And to his surprise, someone answered. Then another, then hundreds, then thousands. He called it a portal, a paranormal one. And what came through that portal? People, stories, truths so strange they bend your bones if you try to hold them. A man from Ohio who met a creature with glowing red eyes by a riverbank. A truck driver who picked up a woman on a rural road only to have her vanish mid-conversation. A war veteran who swore he saw a UFO over a base in Afghanistan. Some stories were terrifying, some were tender, some were sad, but none were easily dismissed. Night after night, this quiet voice on the other end of the microphone guided his listeners into that other world, the one hiding just behind the curtain of our own. And people listened, not because they were gullible, but because finally they had a place to tell their truth. He gave them that place. The podcast grew, hundreds of episodes, live streams, interviews, and not once did he pretend to have all the answers. That's what made him different. He wasn't selling certainty, he was offering curiosity. Skeptics wrote him off, of course, they always do. People say the veil between this world and the next is thin. He would agree. But he also believes that veil can be pulled back, gently, carefully, respectfully. Now he's still there, in that same part of the country under those same misty skies, guiding others through the strange and the unexplained, and always with the same message, you're not alone. He isn't a preacher, or a scientist, or a salesman. He's something rarer than all of those. He's a listener. And now you know the beginning of the story. Brent Thomas is his name, host of the Paranormal Portal, where the stories never sleep, and the truth is stranger than fiction. Good day.